21. Cars of different shapes and sizes, and fans of different shapes and sizes, including one enormous 23-footer. Now, the rules here are really very simple. There aren't any, except that in order to win, you must finish up dragging something over the finish line. Now, how much of the Caravan actually you've got to drag over the line to qualify hasn't really been laid down, but I think they'll use their discretion at the time. Now, there's an unusual lineup as they complete the one lap to warm up, and then as they cross the start and finish line, the green flag goes down and they're on their way. And anything goes, and probably will. Oh, all trouble already. That is the parting of the ways in the most literal sense of the word. The track is completely blocked. They're certainly getting thinned out. The Jag going very well, taking evasive measures on the inside. That's number 152. Graham Coulter from Southwick. And that one seems to have lost its towing vehicle completely. And really there's not a lot left. And you can see, the body has parted. Obviously wasn't very secure, but I suppose he can finish the race with that, and that would still qualify. Looking for the gaps, looking for the opportunities. Now, 152 is going very well at the moment, and 152, in fact, is the leader. And 392, if you see it go through, and I think we'll have trouble in finding it, 392 is or was in second place when we last looked, and 272 was third. So it's 152 from 392 and 272. That's the order at the moment. That's the way to deal with the traffic problem on the main. Exasperation personified. Take that. How often have you been stuck behind a Caravan on one of those crowded South Devon lanes and wanted to be able to do that when you've been sitting there for half an hour at 30 miles an hour and you can't get past? But it's 152, Graham Coulter from Southwick. He's the leader. And he's going very well, relatively undamaged so far. The Mark II Jag and that big van keeping well out of trouble. 392, the one that's right behind him, in fact, is in the second place. And, of course, that second man has definitely got the advantage of a rather small motor. Now, can they get through the narrow gap? Breathe in. Just made it. And the little van chasing into 392. Still there. And that Jag is the one he's got to get by. And he's going to have a go now. If he can just catch the back of that van with the front of his car. He's trying it now on the inside, going for the push. Now, can he get enough shove? Getting elbowed across onto the inside. Stockrod, British champion, actually driving there. 26, that was Bill Violet, in fact, who's having a go at Caravan. He's got a twitch. 392's got a twitch. And 152's got rid of him. He's gone clean through the wreckage. And can he carry on? Has he come out the other side? He has. That's the way to demolish the opposition. I've never seen anything like it. Now then, how much longer can the 152 Graham Coulter survive? He really is going very well indeed. Coming now to the top bend, and the track is absolutely blocked, I think. There's not a way through. And in fact, he's ground to a halt. Now, that other one there is trying to, 231, is trying to poke him in there. Roger Sharman from Woodbridge trying to stop him, but he's through. He's through. 152 has made it. He's got through. He's going well. Now, once again, oh, he's got a twitch on as he comes through. And he's holding on. Weaving his way through, because not only is that bend somewhat restricted, the rest of it, and there's a back marker, 231 behind him. In fact, is in fourth place, who's trying to get rid of him. And he's got the van. No, he's not. He's let him off the hook. He couldn't quite catch him. Now then, round the final turn, and he's got him. He's got him. He's got him. But not for long. The grass is no barrier. The flag marshal indicates which way he should go, but that makes no difference. He's still there. Now let's have a look. We got 152, still 392 is, or the remains of 392 was in second place, 231 and 272. That's the order. But goodness knows where they are, because there's so much wreckage now strewn all the way around the track. Now, through the gap as he goes down the back straight. The lead car is the red Jag. This one coming through now, 152, Graham Coulter. Back marker is trying to get him out. And now we've got 2 more laps to go. Just 2 more. As the 152 Graham Poulter car went through then, we've got 2 more to go, and it's still 152. 392 is second, and 231 is third. There's Henry the Viking in 392, and he's got very little to drag. He's in second place, but he's some way back. This is the lead car, and there's 1 more lap when he comes through this time. Through the speedway track, the gap, down past the main stand, and half the side of the van comes away as he sweeps through in front of us. Still there, and that van is disintegrating as he goes. The back corner's looking decidedly sick, but he's still there and he's still going, and he's inside his final lap. 1 more bend to go. The checkered flag is at the ready, and it looks as if it's going to be Graham Poulter. Off the speedway track, through the wreckage on the inside, he'll appear through the gap. There he is. Oh, what a win, what a drive. 152, Graham Poulter, 392, follows him virtually over the line, and the third place man in a moment is going to be 272, is going to come through to take up the third place, but he's some way back. There's 272 getting the third place. Well, boy, Graham Poulter steps out, the driver of 152, and I think you'll agree that's a fantastic start to a literally smashing race. And the control car takes them away on the 1 lap, which gives them the opportunity to warm up. And then, of course, we've got 20 laps to come for this East of England Championship. Normal graded start, that is to say the lower grade drivers start at the front, the yellow grades, then come these cars with the blue painted roofs, and right at the back of the grid, the red tops, the star grade drivers. Here they are. Always very difficult to try and pick out who we think might win a race like this, but there's a man who's been going very well indeed. 350, Jeff Olding. A little bit of a hold-up as they settle down on this warming up lap. Control car at the front, starting marshal holding them with the flag. 3 graded drivers separated by about a third of a lap each. They come over the line now, the green flag goes down, and we're underway with 20 laps to come for the stock cars. Grade cars come through. A couple of cars finally going a little bit sticky. They put a little bit of water down just to hold some of the dust. And somebody there, 667, obviously. Barry Cousins from Tiptree found a wet spot. The rest of the star drivers go through. These are the leading pair. 246, Bob Turner, the leader, from car number 658 in second place. That's Roy Denston from Woking. And these two have got about 60 yards now on the next car, which is 700 Phil Wager a bit further back. That's first and second. The star men in trouble, cruising around on the outside as the 2 lead cars go through. 350, Jeff Olding pushing his way through a little bit further back. A little bit of dust coming up, and that'll settle after a lap or 2. Trouble, I think, for Jeff Olding in the middle of that turn. I think I saw Jeff Olding getting himself into bother, just spinning around and coming back in again. There's the lead car going through on the inside. So with 3 laps gone, it's still car number 246, Bob Turner the leader, with 658, Ray Benston in second place. Straight, you can see a little bit of a wet patch in the middle of the track. That's not too much of a problem. There's plenty more dry tarmac the drivers can find. There's the lead car on the outside of that covered pair, 246 Bob Turner. 658 just nipped through to take it up. Ray Benston, that's the lead car now. 246 is down to second place. Opening out a little bit of a lead. 6 laps now complete. Still 658, 246, then 700 in third place. 328 is fourth, and then 231 and 1:30. That's the order with 6 laps gone and 14 more to go. 6:58, Ray Benstead. Still hanging on. He's got a lead of about 30 yards on 246. That's the leader on the far side of those two cars. He's got a lead now of about 40 yards on car number 246. And then we've got quite a gap till we go back to 700 in third place. So those are the first three. 6:58, Ray Benstead. Trying to get the 83 car, 350 Jeff Holding, trying to get back into the race. Second place man, 246, still some little way back. There he is, he's going well, he's closing the gap a little, but he's got a lot to do. 6:58 still holding on, 246 there in second place. Phil Wager is still third in 700, and behind him comes car number 328, Brian Holiday. It's Roy Benstead in 6:58, now only about 20 yards ahead of 246 Bob Turner. Now the lead car just on the top right of the picture, there's 6:58, just on the right of the picture. The car in the middle is a back marker, and then 246 is in second place, and he's now getting a lot closer. A little bit of a twitch as 6:58 goes out a little wide, finds some of the loose shale on the outside, and now Bob Turner has got his chance to close up and try and take it from him as they go round the bottom bend. Still 6:58 with 246 right on his tail. About 40 yards behind them is 700 Phil Wager. 246, can he come back? He's done it twice before, but there's not much in front to hold the lead car up. There's this one back marker now in front of the leader. 2 more laps to go as they come through now. Benstead switches to the inside. A little bit dry, wants to keep off that damp patch in the middle of the track. Very nicely. 246 just a few yards behind. It'll be 1 more lap. Now 1 more to go. The 1 lap marker goes out from the starting marshal. Inside the final lap now, and it's looking rather if it's going to be Ray Benstead is going to take this off. Comes from Woking in Surrey, going to make quite a long journey to get up here to Ipswich, and he's really holding on very comfortably indeed. He's got about 40 yards on the second place car as he comes through the final turn. Checkered flag at the ready, there he is. A fine win for 6:58, Ray Benstead. 2:46, Bob Turner comes over the line in the second place. 350, Jeff Holding pulled up to take the third place. But that's the winner, Ray Benstead, car number 658. Hello, Bob. sorry about the delay, but half the bloody drivers aren't in the programme, and until they come out, of course, we can't actually pick them up, you see, so we just had to try and sort it out. Now, it's 25 laps. I don't know whether that's what we're scheduled for. Yeah, it's 25, in fact. It's 25 laps, yeah. All right. Now, the one we need to look at on the lap is the double O car, 00, which at the moment is the other side of 77 on the far side. If one looks straight across from here, he'll pick up 77. And is the other side. Martin Morris, he's the defending title holder. Okay. It's 2 rolling laps, apparently. 2 rolling laps, yeah. Are you rolling on VTR? You are, okay, right. Stand by. And with the super rods, there is a 2-lap warming up period. 2 laps warming up. As you can see, the majority of these cars, 3-litre Capris, and they're using tyres which do need a couple of laps really to get warmed up, and that's why we've got the warming up laps. There's the man who in fact is defending his title here this afternoon, the driver of car 00, Martin Morris. And in fact he's got problems already because the door on the passenger side in fact is flapping. But that's a bit of a problem. If that comes out wider, that's going to be catching some of the other cars as he goes by. But still, it's too late now. They're coming through now with the green flag at the ready. The second warming up lap is complete. And the starting marshal sends them away for 25 laps and the Super Rod British Championship. And that's the full field through now. And all running. 73, Chris Colliver. From Balham in London, there he is, that's the lead car. 47, Mike Rourke is second. 76 at the moment is holding the 3rd place, Chris Shepherd from Orpington. They're the first 3, 73, Chris Colliver. 76 is now moving up through on the inside, Chris Shepherd. Martin Morris moving back very quickly, he's got quite a decent break and begun to move, but this is the front at the moment. 73, Chris Colliver. 76, Chris Shepherd. These are the 2 disputing it. Up into 3rd place now comes number 3, Paul Condy. 30, Ken Biffin is just tucked in behind. So there they go, 73, 76 and 3, then 30, Ken Biffin. The 47 car is dropping back a little bit. Mike Rourke from Reading. Chris Colliver hanging on. Paul Condy going to put him under pressure as they come into the turn. Martin Morris further back is still moving through. He knows he can't afford to hang about. He's got to get past some of these slower cars quickly to get up in contention with the leading group. That's Martin Morris. Back at the front, it's still 73 on the inside and Paul Condy on the outside. Off the top end into the home straight. 73, Chris Colliver. Number 3, Paul Condy. Number 30 now, Ken Biffin in 3rd place. 76 nearly clipped his back end. 5 laps gone. And Paul Condy goes by. That's Paul Condy into the lead. Paul Condy from Reading in number 3. And now he's got through. He's really beginning to open a gap out. 73, Chris Colliver is going to have to do something special in that 2nd place. He wants to keep up with this man because now he's got a clear run. He's really opening out the gap. Oh, there's the 2nd car on the inside, then 3rd, 4th and 5th, all fairly closely bunched. Still 76, Chris Shepherd as the rest of the field comes through. Martin Morris car still with that door flapping in the breeze, but it's not slowing him down any. This is the lead car, number 3, Paul Condy. Round that turn. He has opened out a little bit of a gap. There's the 2nd place man, the white car. That's car number 76, Chris Shepherd. There's the first, that's the 2nd car drifting wide. The blue one on the inside is a back marker. So we've now got about 40 yards between 1st and 2nd. That's the leader. Just coming through. Still going comfortably, laps ticking away, 10 gone, 15 more to go, so there's still quite a long way and plenty of time for things to happen. Martin Morris still slowly but surely picking off the slower cars further back. He's still got a lot to do, but he's about half a lap behind the lead car. Number 2, just in the picture we saw for a moment there, is former hot rod star George Polly. But this is the leader, Paul Condy. Laps gone, still number 3, Paul Condy. A lot of these drivers took up super rod racing, having started with hot rods. Martin Morris, the defending champion, made it that way, and this man on the outside of these two, number 2, very well-known man in hot rod circles. His hot rod racing number was 306. That's George Polly, who now, as well as doing hot rod racing, is also on super rods. Number 2, George Polly. He's some way back at the moment. Back up front, we've still got Paul Condy. In fact, the gap between first and second now is closing up quite dramatically as those slower cars, the back markers, now hold up the number 3 Paul Condy car, and 76 has now got right up behind him. Chris Shepherd is now right up behind the leader. 15 gone and 10 more to go. Number 7, Gordon Lauder, is now moving up into 3rd place. They're still a little way back. Martin Morris is moving up as well. Martin Morris is up now to somewhere about 6th place. He's only got 9 laps left. It's still number 3, Paul Condy, from car number 76, Chris Shepherd. In 3rd place, number 7, Gordon Lauder. We've got number 12, Dave Sparks. They're the first 4 now. Chris Colliver, the earlier leader, is out. So it's those 2, 1, 2, in fact, those 3, 1, 2, 3, nose to tail now. In fact, the 4th car, I think, there as well. So number 3, Paul Condy, number 76, Chris Shepherd, and right behind him, number 7, Gordon Lauder. They're the first 3, and now Gordon Lauder coming to make his move on the outside. Time running out, 18 laps gone. Here they are, 1, 2, 3. Number 12, the 4th place man, is some way back. Martin Morris is still there, and a little bit of trouble there. Someone just bounced as they went around that turn. They're still the same order, still 3, 76 and 7. 1, 2, 3, there they are. Gordon Lauder losing a little bit of ground. Paul Condy knows at this stage of the race he's got to keep going. He can't afford to get held up by these slower back marker cars. The number 29, Pete Chapman, back marker car, getting passed by the leading group. 20 laps gone, 5 to go. And Paul Condy really pulling out all the stops now, opening out that gap. 2nd place man's just got past the back marker, so he now he's got an opportunity to close back up. There they are, there's the 1st, there's the 2nd. 3rd man still there as well, closing the gap once again. Number 7, Gordon Lauder from Rockley. That's the 3rd place man. And he's right on the boot of 76. There's the 2nd and 3rd. And Paul Rockley really sitting on his tail. That's 3 more laps to go. A few back markers getting in the way of the leader, but he sweeps around as 28 in fact pulls off. So it's still 3. Paul Condy, 76, Chris Shepherd, and number 7, Gordon Lauder. And trouble! And that motor's blown. That's the motor gone. Chris Shepherd's motor goes in a cloud of steam, and that puts him out of the race and moves number 7, Gordon Lauder, up to 2nd place with a clear run at the leader, and only 1 more lap, I think, when they come through next time. Now, can Gordon Lauder do it? He's got 1 lap in which to catch the leader. There they are, 1st and 2nd, inside the final lap now. Paul Condy holding on very well at the moment. He's going to make that journey up from Reading today very much worthwhile as he comes down the back straight for the last time. Gordon Lauder gets a little bit close as they come round the final turn, but I don't think he's going to catch him. There's only going to be yards in it on the line, and Paul Condy goes over to take the flag in car number 3. Number 7, Gordon Lauder, comes home in the 2nd place, and after losing those other cars, we've got a bit of a gap before we get back to Martin Morris in 00, who moved up to take 3rd place. He had quite a task, and he wasn't quite up to getting up there. Paul Condy went well, and that leaves us with a result of the Super Rod British Championship. A fine win for this car, number 3, driven by Paul Condy. The 2nd place was car number 7, Gordon Lauder, and the defending title holder, Martin Morris, in car 00, moved up to take the 3rd place. Well, sorting that out, of course, is always the problem when you cram 30-odd cars onto a tight oval raceway. But we'll do our best for you in just a moment. With these, the Superstox. And as Fred said, they're going for the National Championship. And the man who is currently defending that title is the driver of car number 17, young Roy Eaton. Comes from Alton down there in Hampshire. Going very well. Although he's a southern driver, drives probably more down on the southern tracks, he can still be relied on to turn in a good performance up here at Ipswich. The man right behind him, of course, who can't be discounted in any event, is the man with the gold roof, and that indicates, of course, that he is the reigning Superstox world champion from Spalding in Lincolnshire. The driver of car 298 is Jim Welch. Well, the warming up lap comes to an end, the control car pulls off, and we're on our way with 25 laps to come. They go down that back straight, sorting themselves out, a little bit of edging and nudging as they go through there, but it's number 95 who is the leader at the moment. Opened out a lead quite quickly. Dave Webb from Camberley got himself about 20 yards on 111 Ian McCarthy. That's the leader, 95. This race, in fact, only featuring the top two grades of drivers, the blue grade and the red grade. The top drivers only have come through to qualify for this event. That's still the lead car, Dave Webb from Camberley in number 95. Second place now been taken up by Alan Harris from Brookham in number 26. So 95 the leader, 26 Alan Harris is second. Derek Hales comes next in 768. So they're the first three. Tucked in behind then is 323 Dave Turner from Ely. A little bit of nudging now. 26 gets pushed wide as 768 Derek Hales moves up to third. 26 is down to fourth. .95 still holding on. He's got about 30 yards. Here he is. Now there, this is the rest of the bunch that are chasing him. That's 768 just going through now, and then it's anybody's race between the next little group. 26 on the outside, 323 Dave Turner on the inside as 26 Alan Harris loses ground. 294 beginning to move up quite rapidly through there as well. 95, 768, 323, 54 coming up now with 234. 54 is Martin Brand from Spalding. 234 Mick Lemon from Norwich. And now the lead that the leader had up to now has been whittled right down. One car length, less than a car length as Derek Hales goes through on the inside. 768, Derek Hales takes it up now. 95 is relegated to second place. The whole field beginning to close up. 323, Dave Turner is third. 5 laps have gone. Here they come, 1, 2, 3. 54 is fourth, Martin Brand, or rather just gone third now because 95 has dropped back into fourth place. 546 John Gray comes next. 234 Mick Lennon is next. That's the group, that's the leader, 768. He's opening out a little bit of a gap now ahead of the 323 Dave Turner car. There you are, you can see the gap he's got as he comes round the water tower turn. There's first, second and third just coming into the picture. That's the 1, 2, 3. That's the leader, that's the second and the third, and then this little group contesting fourth and fifth. On the inside, it's 546 John Gray, then the world champion 298. Trouble as a couple of them find the safety fence down on the bottom turn. Oh, and he just managing to squeeze through the gap, but the leader's through and clear. That slowed one or two of the others down. 54, Martin Brand is closing up very, very quickly indeed in third place. Come. One of the cars has just lost a wheel right in front of the commentary box here, sitting there on the dog track, on the speedway track rather. Leader getting held up, 768, Derek Hale stuck behind 665 Dave Willis. 12 laps gone now, still 768 the leader, 323 is in second place, 54 third. And the leading bunch getting badly held up by the 665 back marker. That's a back marker and the first and second, and of course the 665 moves over to let them through. So there's the first and the second, then a back marker, then the 54 car on the inside, just hovering there, waiting to go through, looking for the chance. That's the first and second. 7.68 from 3.23 and 54. Laps ticking away, 15 gone, 10 more to go. And there's the 1, 2, 3 as they go down into that turn. That's the leader on the left of the picture. 7.68, Derek Hales. Then 3.23 in second place. There's the third man, 54. On the inside, they have to clip the edge of the speedway track because of that parked car. Oh, and a little bit of trouble as wheels clash there, but it's a back marker who gets hustled out of the way. Second placeman having a bit of a struggle there to get past the slower back marker car. He must keep in contact with that leader. He can't afford to let a gap develop between him and the lead car. There's Derek Hales in 7.68. Now here come the rest of the placemen coming through. 19 laps gone now, still 7.68 from 3.23, then 54, then the world champion 2.98, then 5.46 John Gray, 3.20 Dave Pearce, the defending title holder then, number 17 Roy Eaton is now in about 6th, and with about 8 laps to go. About 5 laps to go. They're still there. It's still 2.98. Three more laps to run. There's the first and the second. 54 is still there in third place. Time is now running out. 2.98. Jim Welsh is still back in fourth, but he's well out of touch. 2 more to go. A back marker on the leader on the inside, 7.68, 3.23, then 54. And those three now have got a long, long way ahead of 2.98 Jim Welsh, who is next, then 3.20 Dave Pearce, but they're a long way behind. It's this man who's looking all set now to take this national championship. There's only 1 more lap to go. 3.23 is still sitting right on his tail. Dave Turner desperately trying to get past, but he's only got this lap in which to do it if he's going to beat him. He's closing the gap. He's sitting right on his tail, hoping for a mistake, but they're in the final turn. Through the turn they come, and no one's going to stop Derek Hales now. A fine win for 768. Derek Hales from Thetford. Second place, 3.23, Dave Turner. And the third man home was Martin Brand from Spalding in car number 54. So the new Superstox national champion is the driver of 7.6. Right. Now the stock saloons. And these lads are not averse to a bit of rough and tumble, as I think we're going to see. We've got, at a big important meeting like this, we've got drivers from all over the country. There's always a certain amount of rivalry between the drivers from the south and the drivers from the north, and I think we shall probably see that coming out. We've got a driver down from Scotland for this as well. The man who defends his title, not the man who defends his title, the man who in fact is the English champion in the stock cars, who would be very keen to add the golden helmet to it, is 156 Ray Gowdy, and he's at the back of this little group here. But the leaders push and shove their way. Oops, a little bit of a twitch there. Of course, when someone's pushing on the back end, they're not too bothered. Taking a nice line, settling down. One casualty already. This is the lead car, bashing down the back straight, 2.27. Here he comes. So he's got a couple of laps now under his belt and can start to sort out about getting himself a bit of a lead. Andrew Gardner from Ipswich in 2:27. He's the leader. Well, there's Ray Gowdy, the English champion, 1:56. Always, he's down actually to blue grade at the moment, but he's getting back up the points very rapidly by some fairly aggressive sort of driving. Back at the front, still 2:27. 1:26 is second and 1:07 is third. The number 40 car is in fact a back marker. Several back markers. 5:73 is third now. So there's a bit of a gap between the leader and the rest of the field. That's the leader at the back of this little group. And he's got three of them right across the track in front holding him up. And that'll certainly cut his chances of maintaining this lead down, because while he's messing about behind them, of course, the others are all pounding up behind him. He really can't break through those slower cars. There's some of the star men who had to start at the back, in fact. Slight control problems at the front there. And that's the way he finishes up. When you get a bit of a twitch on and someone is helping you along from behind, it doesn't help. There's the leader. Still 2:27, Andrew Gardner. Local driver from Ipswich. That's it. Get out of the way, he says. And he's still got poor old 238, Eddie Aldous, well and truly out of this one now, jammed up in the fence with another of the star drivers. I don't think he's going to be taking much more part in this. Jock McClure in 2:41. Well, he's got his problems as well. Meanwhile, a couple of back markers with the leader tucked in behind. And the fact that he's getting held up has now given an advantage to 5:73 and 1:26, who are definitely closing the gap. 5:73 is the car, Mervyn Lake from Norwich. There he is in second place. And 1:26 is not too far behind him in third position, Colin Bowles from Durham. And there's the leader disposing of the 168 rather, back marker. So 2:27, 5:73 getting a lot closer now. Other cars moving up behind, 1:26, 3:72, 2:70 and 5:91. We've got 10 laps gone of this 20-lap event, so we're on halfway. Still 2:27 from 5:73. That's the way to get rid of them. This is the first and second. Andrew Gardner, 2:27. Mervyn Lake, 5:73. 5:73 really, it got a lot closer, but he seems to be dropping back a little bit now. He's not able to get up really close. And 3:02, making short work of poor old 68, finishing up with him well and truly stuck in the fence. Or rather, it was 88, Steve Templeman. These are the first two, coming off this bend. 12, 13 laps gone now, still 2:27 from 5:73, further back 1:26 and 2:70 and 4:32, you see them coming through. But they've got a lot to do to catch this little yellow top. He started down at the front of the grid, and that's really where he stayed all the way. There's the man who's chasing him in second place, 5:73 Mervyn Lake. And 1:26 is still about 30 yards behind him. The leader, though, has still got time to dispose of some of the opposition. Sometimes you have to be a little bit careful. You start getting tied up, pushing somebody out of the way, and that can be your undoing, but that was quite successful. A bit of a twitch on one of the back wheels, but he's going well. He's taking a good line through the turns. Track, of course, still dry. There they come, first and second. 5 more laps to go. Gardner holding on. Mervyn Lake still second. 1:26, Colin Barnes still third. bend, and the 3-lap marker going out for them now. Now, can Mervyn Lake in 5.73 close this gap? It's only about 20 yards. There's not a lot to do, but can he find something extra to try and catch him? There's the third place man, but he's some way back. He's got a lot to do. Really, the big question is whether or not 5.73 can catch this one. Two more to go. Now that's the gap between the first and second cars, and a few back markers that could hold up 227 just enough to let Mervyn Lake catch him in 5.73. The 227's got the inside line. He's also got the indication from the starting marshal that there's only one more lap to go. Inside the final lap now. I don't think Mervyn Lake's going to make it in 5.73. The blue car at the back of those four, because Andrew Gardner's well clear. Here he comes now off the final turn. 2.27. Andrew Gardner over the line. A great effort by 5.73 Mervyn Lake, but not quite good enough to catch him. And the man who's going to come through in third place is Colin Barnes in 1.26. Trouble there as that one really banged the safety fence as he went through. That was 46 Keith Jarman from Scotland, but that's the man who Well, while you've been away, there's been a very brief shower of rain, which unfortunately has just put a dampener right across the whole circuit. But the sun is trying to come through again. The drivers have had to take a big gamble because, of course, they didn't quite know what to go for in the way of tyres. I suspect most of them, in fact, have gone for dry weather tyres in the hope that it won't rain again and that the track will dry out quite quickly. Now, the cars on the very front of the grid. On the inside, we've got the outside, we've got number 88, Peter Grimer. Driver from the Midlands, comes from Bilborough near Sleaford in Lincolnshire. His brother Paul's further back. He's put up a very good time to get himself pole position. Alongside him, very popular, well-known driver, number 19, Mick Collard, and he, in fact, has put up the fastest time in practice. He went round this track, which is just over a quarter of a mile, in 15.87 seconds. That's an average speed in something in excess of 60 miles an hour. Behind him, there's 112, John Edwards, who spends most of his time racing up in the Midlands area, the Hednesford Hills Raceway, always a very competitive driver, and with this sort of a draw, then obviously he is going to be in with a very, very big chance. The man that Fred has already mentioned, who we can't discount, of course, in any event like this, there he is, that beautiful, immaculate car, 351, Barry Lee. He was the European Rallycross champion in 1969. He took up hot rod racing. He was the world champion in 73, in 74, in 77, and 78. And as they now go into their second of these three warming up laps, they're not racing as yet. This is the warming up lap. As they go into this warming up lap, Barry, of course, will be wondering how this brand new car is going to perform. It's immaculately prepared. It's had a lot of practice in it, but no real racing. And they're still going to be coming around now, one more. As they come through, these are the trophies they're racing for. And this is the field that is racing for them as the green flag goes down. And we're on our way, 75 laps for the championship of the world, and trouble already for 272. He is Paul Staines, and he is already out. But as they come into that top bend, remember, of course, the track is still wet, and most of the drivers have got dry weather tyres on. 88, Paul Grimer, 19, Mick Collard, 351, Barry Lee. It's Barry Lee, right around that outside from the second row of the grid. And Barry takes it up. Give it a few laps, and I think we shall see this track drying out. And then they'll really be getting up some speed as this field thunders through. 31 cars, all after the top title in the sport. 351, Barry Lee in the Burton Total Escort in the lead. Second place is number 19, Mick Collard. Third is 88, Peter Grimer. 14 is Colin Facey, and he's next. So it's Barry Lee drifting out of the top turn. There's a lot of money there. A lot of work has gone into the preparation of these cars. Hot rod racing now has become very, very sophisticated. With the lack of restrictions as to what can be done on these motors, then big oil companies are coming in and sponsoring. And there's a lot of money, a lot of pound notes under each of those bonnets. Now the work's been done, the preparation has been done, and this is where it's all got to come good. So, 351, Barry Lee. 962, Ormond Christie in second place. 19, Mick Pollard is third. 88, Peter Grimer is fourth. 14, Colin Facey is next. That's 37, Mickey Elliott up against the safety fence from Greenford in Middlesex, but that's the end of his race. These are the leading two. 351, Barry Lee. 962 from Carnmoney near Belfast in Northern Ireland, the second place man, Ormond Christie. 19, Mick Pollard is third. As we look at the lap sheets, 8 laps have now gone. And now, of course, the leading drivers up behind the slower men, and this is where they've got to use all their skill to look for the gaps and try and pick their way through. Beautiful driving from Barry, finding the gaps. Ormond Christie hanging on his tail and following him through. 962 right on his tail. 19, Mick Pollard is there. Peter Grimer right behind. Very little to choose between the first 4 cars at the moment, and in a 75-lapper with only 10 gone, there's a great deal that can happen yet. 1, 2, 3, 4 there, all in a straight line. In fact, I think the 5th man is there as well. Now Peter Grimer coming to challenge on the inside. Still 351, Barry Lee. Just getting a chance to pull away, but no, Ormond Christie staying with him. Barry Lee, 351, Ormond Christie 962. 19, Mick Pollard. That Irishman is hanging on there. He's not letting Barry Lee get away. He knows that with the wealth of experience Barry Lee has got behind him, he cannot afford to let that 351 car get away. There they are, first and second. See on that Barry Lee car, a new idea they've adopted this time is they've fitted rubber skirts to the underside of the car at the front and down the sides. You can just see them there on that shot. The idea, of course, is to stop the air getting underneath the car from the front and the sides. And then, of course, the effect is a suction to hold the car down on the track. It's not very effective until the car gets up to 60 miles an hour, but as the track is now drying out, Barry Lee will be hoping that perhaps it can give him just a little bit of edge. Passing some of those slower cars. 351, Barry Lee. 962, Ormond Christie. 19, Mick Pollard is still there. 937 is now moving up. That's another Northern Ireland driver. Ivan Greenwood has now moved up into about the 4th place. 88, Peter Grimer is still there. Colin Facey is still in there. 18 laps gone now. Still 351. Barry Lee. He's opened out a little bit of a gap. 962, Ormond Christie has fallen back now as Barry Lee edges ahead. 19, Mick Pollard now second. 962 is third. There's Mick Pollard, number 19. The number 1 car you saw in the background there is Koos Kamur from South Africa, but he's not actually in the placings. He's a back marker. There's number 19. Back with the leader, still trying to do battle with some of the slower back markers. So let's have a look at the lap sheet with 23 laps gone. It's still 3:51 Barry Lee, 19 Mick Collard, 9:37 Ivor Greenwood from Northern Ireland is third. There's 9:62 Ormond Christie. He was going well earlier on, dropped back a little now though. Still holding something like fourth place. Barry Lee goes on. On the inside there, that's a Volkswagen Golf of Heingo Stut from Belgium, the 189 car. Barry Lee just passing. Barry Lee really going very well indeed. The one just behind him, in fact, is a back marker. There's the second place man, Mick Collard. So we've got 3:51 Barry Lee still in the lead. There's Mick Collard. Barry Lee now opening out a little more of a gap. And these two are really some little way ahead of the rest of the field. Barry Lee cruising into this top turn. There he is now. Here comes the second place man, 19. And there really is now quite a gap. Barry Lee, once he broke clear of those two slower back marker cars, managed to roar ahead. And this man has really got quite a lot to do now to get back in touch. The track has dried out. Of course, the dry weather tyres coming into their own. And as it's not too hot here, there shouldn't be problems with the tyres getting overheated. That happened to Mick Collard last year. He was going very, very well. And it was a bright, hot, sunny afternoon, and the tyres just became soft with about 10 more laps to go. He lost all his grip and had to fall right back through. Last year's winner, Gordon Bland, of course, retired shortly after the big race last year, and so there's no defending title holder. But the man who's won it most there, Barry Lee, won it 4 times. He desperately wants to make it 5. That's the gap now that Mick Collard has got to make up. That beautiful Castrol Escort. And when I saw Mick, I said, is that a new car? And he said, no, it's an old one, and we've painted it all up. And they certainly have made a beautiful job. Very smart-looking motor. And what's more, it went round here this afternoon quicker than anybody else on the lap times. This is an innovation for this year, because with most forms of stock car racing, and I use that term in its widest sense, all the cars normally start in graded order. That's to say the top drivers start at the back and then have to work their way through. But this year there was a change. Earlier in the day we had lap trials. The drivers went round and did 3 laps against the clock. The fastest lap was taken, and we then assembled a list of the drivers, and those who put up the fastest time started on the front of the grid. But it doesn't seem to have made any difference, because of the speed these boys go. They very quickly get up behind the back of the field. That's the 9:37 car of Ivor Greenwood from Belfast. 51 laps gone. So the order now is 3:51 Barry Lee, 19 Mick Collard, 9:62 Ormond Christie has moved back into 3rd place, 9:37 is 4th, 8 Paul Grimer is 5th, and 88 Peter Grimer is 6th. Then comes 112 John Edwards. Behind him comes car number 18 Jim Mensley. So they're the first 8. There's 9:62. There's the 3rd place man, Ormond Christie. The Northern Ireland drivers obviously don't tend to race in England very much, and therefore they are a little bit of an unknown quantity. But certainly several of the drivers I spoke to beforehand were under the impression that this guy, Ormond Christie, had certainly got to be watched. Reports had come over from Northern Ireland that he was highly competitive, and he's certainly proving that this afternoon. Now, you see the effect of the back marker cars. As soon as Barry Lee gets held up then the 19 Mick Collard car is very quickly up behind him, and I'm sure that Mick Collard is really going to be hoping and praying that as we get towards the end of this race, there'll be back markers in the way and give him the chance to get up on turns. Now, here he comes alongside. Not quite that time, but he'll be looking for the chance now to go in front as the laps tick away. We're on 57 laps gone now. I suspect Mick Collard won't be too keen to get in front too early, but on the other hand, Barry Lee's the sort of driver who doesn't give you too many chances. And if you don't take a chance when it's presented to you, well, that's it, you've had it. 3-5-1, Barry Lee still holding that lead position. A couple of the back markers shut the door on Mick Collard trying to go through. As soon as Barry Lee gets a little chance, when he's not held up, the foot goes down and on he goes. 3-5-1, 19. Down that back straight. The rest of the field really is a long way behind. 9.62 and 9.37 are some way back. The lead between these two and the third and fourth places is now something like 50 yards. There's the leader, 3.51 and 19. And Mick Collard really harrying him now, sitting right on his bumper. Just showing him that he's got the speed there if he wants to use it. Getting very close. Pushing, of course, is not allowed in hot rod racing. But Mick Collard is really giving Barry Lee a run for his money. And really the supporters around the track getting very, very excited indeed. Every time Mick Collard gets close to that bumper, supporters are jumping up and down. Mick Collard now's got the inside, but you see the back marker just balks him and he can't quite make it. Laps ticking away. We're up to 63 laps. Further back, the order is still the same. 3.51, 19, 9.62, 9.37, 8.88, 1.12, and 18. But this is where the scrap is between these two. Now, what can Mick Collard do? He's getting very close indeed, and he knows that he dare not push. He just miscalculates slightly and tucks in and hits the back end of that car, then he could be in trouble from the steward. He's likely to get docked to place, and of course that would make all the effort that is expected absolutely lost. So he's got to keep close enough to go by if a chance presents itself like that, maybe. Not quite enough. Once again, an inside car there blocking his way. Now, when will the chance come again? A back marker indicating that the others can come through. That's the 18 car, Jim Mensley, who in fact is in about 8th place. Now, that's how far ahead these leading cars are. Still 3.51, Barry Lee leading from 19 Mick Collard with 68 laps gone. So we're getting towards the closing stages of this one now. And Mick Collard is sitting there poised to try and take it. They'll not be very, very sure probably how far they've gone. They may be getting signals from their mechanics, but in a moment or two, the 5-lap marker will go out. And then they'll know exactly how far they've got to go, and Mick Collard will know exactly what he's got to do. There's the third place, 9.62, Ormond Christie still holding on. And meanwhile, Mick Collard has got his wheels up on the inside as they come through, and Mick Collard goes ahead. Mick Collard goes ahead as they go to the water tower turn. And that was right on the 5-lap marker. It's number 19. Mick Collard now. Is Barry Lee going to be able to take it back? And Mick Collard has got time to wave to him as he goes through. What a character. What a boy. 19, Mick Collard. Holding on. He knows this is the best chance he's ever had of taking this World Championship. And boy, has he got to hang on to it now. That was 4 laps to go. There'll be 3 more laps to go when they come through this time. And there they go. Mick Collard is pulling away. Mick Collard is opening out a gap. That car is flying. And Barry Lee seems to be in trouble. I think Barry Lee's in trouble. The car is definitely slowing. The raceway on that top turn is partly blocked by damaged cars. And someone seems to be missing as they went through, but I think Barry Lee is in trouble because Mick Collard seems to be going very well indeed. It's Mick Collard all the way at the moment. Now he's just got to hang on. He can't afford to make any mistakes now or to tangle with these slower cars. One more lap. Inside the final lap, it's number 19, Mick Collard. Coming to the final turn, and this is going to be his year. He said this relaxed attitude might help him, and he's going to take it. There's the flag, and the new hot rod champion of the world is number 19, Mick Collard. What a race. Well, there's the second place man, the man who couldn't quite make it, but it turned out this year to be the year for number 19, Mick Collard, the new champion of the world.